In August 1931, a submarine approaches the edge of the known world, about to enter a massive frozen unknown. This largely unexplored part of the world will soon be the domain of a group of daring explorers determined to uncover the Arctic's great mysteries. Setting out in a new kind of exploration machine, they will endure cramped conditions and frigid temperatures as they push ahead for thousands of kilometers under the ice. But as the days turn to weeks, this expedition will go horribly wrong. For centuries, explorers have tried repeatedly to reach the top of the world, using everything from ships to dogsleds. Their attempts often ended in tragedy, with hundreds perishing in the unforgiving Arctic. It wasn't until 1926 that the North Pole was first undisputedly discovered. And even then, it was from the air in a modified airship that never touched the ground. Convinced there was a better way, accomplished explorer Sir Hubert Wilkins planned to set foot on the North Pole using a submarine. Unlike the South Pole, the North Pole lies in the middle of the Arctic Ocean, amid waters almost always covered in ice. Wilkins believed a submarine would be the ultimate way to reach this elusive destination, and outfitted with the latest scientific equipment, it could help solve the Arctic's greatest mysteries. His expedition would zigzag thousands of kilometers under the ice over 6 weeks, emerging from the deep through any openings before ending in Alaska. To fund this ambitious venture, Wilkins secured a deal with newspaper magnate William Randolph Hearst, who would get exclusive publishing rights in exchange for backing the expedition. Hearst even orchestrated a plan for Wilkins to meet up with a massive airship at the North Pole, creating a sensational media event. All that was left was to find the right submarine, the heavily modified Nautilus, a retired World War I era attack sub. The Nautilus was outfitted with numerous innovative features to handle the challenges of the Arctic, including reinforced bows, sledge runners and drills capable of boring through thick ice. But as the expedition prepared to set off, Wilkins harbored deep concerns about the reliability of these untested modifications. His fears would prove well-founded, as the Nautilus faced a seemingly endless string of mechanical issues that repeatedly forced it back into port for repairs. Undeterred, Wilkins pressed ahead, even as the expedition fell further and further behind schedule. The journey across the Atlantic was grueling, with the tiny, cramped submarine easily tossed about by fierce storms. Plagued by equipment failures and a demoralized crew, the Nautilus limped across the ocean only to suffer further setbacks upon arrival. Wilkins now faced the humiliation of having his sub towed the rest of the way and the loss of Hearst's lucrative prize. Even months behind schedule, Wilkins refused to give up. The expedition finally set off for the North Pole in July, with the Nautilus still riddled with problems. But as the sub reached the first ice floes, Wilkins began sending out upbeat progress reports, celebrating their achievements. Little did the world know that the reality on board was far grimmer, with the exhausted, freezing crew desperate to turn back. Faced with an impossible decision, Wilkins ordered the Nautilus to submerge by ramming under the ice, determined to reach the pole despite the crippled state of the sub. But as they pushed on, the crew's attempts to use the ice drills proved futile. Finally, on September 6th, Wilkins sent out the transmission everyone had been hoping for. Our Arctic trip is over. Wilkins had taken the Nautilus further under the ice than any vessel before it, but his expedition ended in failure. It would be another 3 decades before the nuclear-powered USS Nautilus successfully traversed the Arctic, while Wilkins's attempt faded into obscurity. The original Nautilus now lies sunk off the coast of Norway, and Wilkins, once considered among the greatest explorers of the 20th century, was left financially ruined and largely forgotten.